Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you in the month of December, since it is Christmas time and the holiday time, about Power Rangers Zeo, A Season to Remember. So I was able to watch this after all. I found it on YouTube because Netflix took it off. It's been a long time since I watched this. I probably only watched this, it's probably like my third time in life probably watching this, because I don't own the Zeo DVD, and I only watched it on Netflix one time, and then I watched it when it aired many years ago. So this took me back. I completely forgot. Once again, the Rangers do not morph in this episode. And they don't even fight. Don't even throw snowballs like they did in Mighty Morphin. This was a very interesting, unique episode. This episode, I actually like a whole lot more than the Mighty Morphin Christmas one. Only because, like, I'm not really a huge fan of people saving the day for Christmas. Also, I got to learn, like, all their different religions in this, like, episode, which is something I never really realized. And there are some races that I didn't even realize. Take Rocky, for example. I had no idea the dude's Mexican. I thought he was white. And I thought Adam was Filipino, but he's actually Korean and stuff. So who knew? You know? And so, like, and we got to learn so much about other, like, cultures and religions during the holidays, similar to that of Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego, their Christmas episode that I talked about. Go watch that video. And so, like, it starts off with that huge mystery of a paradox of are they, aren't they, and what's going on, Tommy and Kat. So it starts off with a old man talking to a little boy around Christmas time, right? And he sounds like Tommy, but older and stuff, but we don't get to see his face. FYI, it is Tommy. And he's an old man. He has a grandson now. So he's telling him a story about back when he was younger. And so, like, over in, like, the youth center. So this is Zeo. So by this time, Aisha's gone, Kimberly's gone, Kat and Tanya are in. The Machine Empire has taken over, and Lord Zed and Rita have left, but Rito and Goldar have lost their memories, and they're still in this. So we're at the youth center, and they're setting up all their, like, holiday decorations and talking about them. And they're with this other guy. God, I forgot his name. I think it might be Raymond or something like that. He is Jewish, and he's talking about the Jewish holidays and Hanukkah, how they get, like, 8th gifts for, like, their holidays and the menorah and stuff like that. Now, he was introduced into Zeo as a friend to the Power Rangers as a decoy. He is a decoy Gold Ranger. Back when they introduced the Gold Ranger, nobody knew who he was. So, like, they would have a bunch of random guys interact with the Power Rangers and suddenly mysteriously have to, like, disappear. And then the Gold Ranger would show up. Now, they mentioned Billy has gone not to Aquitar, but to go visit his families for the holidays. This is because David Yost had to leave Power Rangers because how he was being harassed by the production staff because of his sexuality and everything. It was the 90s, it was a rough time for the LGBT, and they treated him like crap, which is terrible. So this is when he started disappearing from the show. And he was probably gone by that time, I think. Because when he read the show back up, he was an old man and it was a different guy playing him. So he's talking about, like, his Jewish holidays and stuff like that. And then Tanya is talking about Kwanzaa, which is something you never hear about in TV that much. You will hear them say Kwanzaa, but you never hear them talk about it. And so, like, Kwanzaa is the African celebration for, like, the holidays, like Christmas type stuff. And they have candles too that look like the menorah, but they're different colors. They're like black and they're green, and they represent, I forgot what she said they represent. This is bad for me because I'm black. But I've never been taught Kwanzaa at all, like, at all and stuff. And I think it has to do something with the different strengths of, like, humanity or something like that, what those candles represent. And So this is back when there was the whole are they aren't they Adam and Tanya thing. Cause Tanya and Adam used to have a lot of scenes together, and they had a scene together when he's asking about that. Now Rocky in this, Rocky is a bit more sillier and goofier in Zeo than he was in Mighty Morphin. I've always weirded out by that. I never understood why. And that was because the Sentai footage had changed. And in the Sentai, the Blue Ranger and Zeo was more the goofier one. So Rocky was always say something with a goofy smirk on his face. I never understood why. And he was less confident in fighting and stuff. And that's because of the Sentai stuff. Now, like I said before, I learned that the dude is Mexican. Why? Because he brought in tamales, and that's a very traditional, like Mexican type, like spice type thing, and pepper. But he never states that he is Mexican or not. But you can tell just by the tamale thing. And so, Kat, she of course is from Australia and everything, and she brought in some fried shrimp because I guess that's what they cook a lot in Australia because there's like a lot of seafood and stuff because they're out by the beach and stuff like that. And that's interesting. They cook that for like the holidays, but they don't go into much detail. They did go into more detail about Hanukkah and Kwanzaa because when it comes to American holidays, the only ones you really know about is Christmas and Hanukkah, and a little bit about Hanukkah, not Hanukkah, but Kwanzaa, which is Swahili and everything. And you rarely hear about that, but there are those that do celebrate it here in America and stuff. And so that was really cool to learn that from them because I never knew what Adam and Rocky like were. I knew Tanya, her character came from Africa, but the actress did not. And it's weird because in the Alien Ranger season, she had like an African accent. The little version of her and the big version of her. But then once Zeo happened, they just dropped it and stuff. And so now since the Machine Empire has taken over, I should be getting the Bulk and Skull. So Bulk and Skull is in this season. And they're no longer cops, but now they're private detective, PIs and everything. Which makes no sense because they're still in high school. I never understood that. They should have kept them as junior cops or just kept making them high school students. But Detective Stone is still in this, and so he's like their boss, and he wants them to get on some case of like the missing fruitcake or something like that. I like Bulk and Skull. I think they're funny and hilarious, but there was a point in time where they kind of ran their course. In Zeo, you could start to see it take form where their course was starting to run out a little bit, and they just randomly started sticking them in places because they had their own side adventure. They were no longer interacting with the cast that much. Then in Turbo, it was really front and center that it was about time for them to leave after they graduated from college and stuff. And then they stuck around for In Space, which made no sense. And then one of them stuck around for Lost Galaxy. But then by that time, the chorus had... Because in Lost Galaxy, he only appeared in like 4 episodes, I think. And after that, it was just like... They were gone until Samurai came and stuff. So even though I do like them and everything, and they're hilarious, they're just a point in time where the show no longer needed that brand of like comedy because they were starting to like mature and stuff, And so like now we get to the Machine Empire, and of course he doesn't like Christmas either, just like Lord Zed. So the one dude Clank comes up with an idea to like have some type of like raid turn them like evil or something like that. I don't know. So in a way, we're back at the youth center, and Ernie's actually there, and he actually gets to say something. One teeny tiny line, and then he's out. This dude does not hang out for the Christmas episodes. So then Sprocket comes in, and then he zaps the Rangers with like a ray, and he also zaps the other dude. And so all of a sudden, I thought, since it's called a season to remember, I thought they were gonna lose their memories. No, they turn moody, grumpy, like mean. And then so Tommy and the Raymond dude, or whatever his name is, they get into it. And not only do they get into it, they start trashing, bad mouthing their different religions and stuff. And so he's talking about he don't want to hear about none of this Hanukkah stuff, and the other dudes are like, I don't want to hear about none of this Christmas stuff, because if you don't be nice, Tommy Santa's gonna steal your presents. But then we learned out something interesting about Adam and how I found out he's from Korea, or at least his unless his parents are. I don't know what part of Korea. Chances are it's probably south. Yeah, there's a good possibility these people are from South Korea. And he said some people around the world don't even celebrate the holidays like in Korea. And he's all like, why should I even be here? So at the command chamber, which is now the command chamber, no longer the command center, I gotta say, I do miss the command center. The command center had a weird spatial alien type feel. It looked like they was in outer space, kinda. But it was a cool little thing. But then the command chamber was just awesome. I loved it. So this time, Alfred decides he's going to go out for Christmas and redecorate the entire command chamber, even the outside, with lights. And so he gives Zordon some like hat and a bow and everything. And Zordon gave him some slippers for Christmas. So something Alfred said he always wanted, but Alfred doesn't get cold. So I just he's an android. I don't get it. You just gotta roll with the punches. But then they determined that the Power Rangers are acting kind of weird, and so Zordon's on like the Rangers can only cure themselves by finding out that special thing that makes human special or some crap like that. I don't know why they just didn't transport them to the command chamber and try to like tell them, hey, you know, act right, and then so the spell could be broken. No, they don't do that. So at some point in time, Bulk and Skull are looking for the missing fruitcake or something like that, and they see crumbs. So they're looking for crumbs, and they see them all in the street. Skull keeps finding green crumbs, and then Bulk keeps finding red ones. And when Bulk finds them, he eats them off the ground. Gross. Never eat nothing off the ground, kids, because it's germs, and you don't want that, and you don't want to get sick, and you don't want to have to go to the hospital. And so in a way, they're busy doing that. And then so at the youth center, a little girl comes in and she wants to know if this is where the pageant is going to be, because she wants to hang up a poster. This now makes everybody sad, and they kumbaya it out, and they break their spell, and then they apologize to one another. This makes the Kimondo pissy and everything. So back with Bulk and Skull, they find the fruitcake, but they find a giant fruitcake that's the size of like nearly a house. And they don't know what this thing came from, but in comes Rito and Goldar. Goldar is missing his wings for some reason. And so their brain, they lost their memories and stuff. And they said they want to do something nice for the guys and this and that. So they made him a giant fruitcake. They basically stole fruitcakes all around town and mushed them together and make a giant one. Bulk is like, what are we gonna do? We're supposed to bring in a bunch of fruitcakes. And so Skull calls in his aunt, who loves to steal fruitcakes. And so the ones that she stole, she's gonna replace the ones that are missing and stuff. See what I'm talking about? This is just kind of weird. Like, this is when the show got like good. See, this is why people call Power Rangers for children. When you see stuff like that, you know. So in a way, they're back now at the youth center, and they're all dressed up, and they're all being nice. Because, oh, I forgot. At one point, Kimondo made their gifts disappear, and then that little girl came in. Anyway, no, they're all back, and Tanya's decked out in a very African outfit. I don't know if they sing in this episode or not. I will say it was kind of cool to see Tanya get like mad and shout at like Adam and all that and stuff. So Adam and Rocky come in with the candles from Kwanzaa, and they talking about they hope they got it right. They went to the library to research it and everything, because they forgot what Tanya, just like me, I forgot what Tanya said. And so they kumbaya it out, and then we go back to the future, and it's old Tommy and everything, and the little boy's grandma comes in, and it's Kat, confirming that those two did get married But is that her kid? See, I still wonder. It could be her stepchild. We don't know. So an older man comes in, and the older man is the little boy's brother, and they're talking a little bit, and his communicator goes off, which, this was made before in space because in space they changed the noise of the ringtone of the communicator. And so, like, he says, "Oh man, I have to go." And then the little boy's all like, "Oh, he always has to run off for some mystery thing." And so it was kind of cool to see Tommy when he heard the communicator go off. He's like looking around, ready to jump into action because it's been years since he's done that. So it was so sad to see, you know. And so Kat and Tommy are there with the grandson, and it ends and everything. And this is like it was a nice educational like Christmas, well, never a Christmas, but a holiday type episode, you know. I was glad I didn't see like, them throwing snowballs at the villains like in Mighty Morphin. But it would have been nice to see them morph. Like it's just fun to see Power Rangers morph, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. But all in all, it was an okay episode. Now I gotta go watch that Alpha Christmas thing because I've never seen that before, like ever. Bah humbug, that was a good episode. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Bye.